Okay, welcome everyone. I'm Christine. I'm the Astro CEO. And in today's video, we're going to be talking about the solar eclipse that happened on October 2nd, 2024, in the sign of Libra. I'm going to be doing your horoscopes for all 12 signs. So before we get started, we need to just have a conversation. So, first and foremost, the horoscopes that I'm going to be delivering today are based on your rising sign. It is really important. Your rising sign is also called your ascendant. It is really important to know what your rising sign is. That is the most accurate way to apply what I'm talking about today. This is going to be based solely on your rising sign. If you base it on your sun sign, it's not going to be accurate. So, if you don't know what your rising sign is or your ascendant, which is the same thing, feel free. I'd be happy to help you with that. You can book a one on one appointment, or better yet, you can join the Level Up Your Life in Biz membership. It's a membership where we meet once a month on Zoom privately, and it's your opportunity to ask me anything. And so, one of the things that I do for all the members is I calculate what your rising sign is. And even if you don't know the time that you were born, which is very important in calculating what your rising sign is, we can still figure out what that is once you become a member. It's really interesting because the way that I was taught from my astrology mentors is you can actually, which was really interesting, you can actually look at the way that people walk. And once you figure out the date, you kind of know a general time. You can look at the way people walk and you can figure out what their rising sign is. It's real fascinating. I also have a background in massage therapy, so I'm very familiar. I'm very tuned in with the mechanics of the body, how people walk, what their injuries are. But it's real interesting that you can actually, as an astrologer, look at the way that people walk and determine, and also their features. You can also determine that way what their rising sign is. So again, if you don't know what your rising sign is, not a problem. You can book that one-on-one appointment with me or join the membership. The link for the membership and private appointments is down in the show notes. Okay, so definitely apply your rising sign to today's forecast. Okay, so the solar eclipse happened on October 2nd. Okay, so the thing about eclipses is you can feel them 6 months before and 6 months after. The intensity, though, is you can feel it 1 month before and 1 month after. Okay, so there's this kind of a broad window of when you can actually feel the eclipse happening to you personally. And in today's video, we're going to get real, I'm going to get really detailed, and we're going to get down to the specifics based on your rising sign. I will go over where the eclipse is actually happening and what house. Okay, so this is going to be really good. So it's important to know. I always like to be informed. That's what I love about astrology. I like to be informed and to know what's headed my way so that I can prepare for that and plan accordingly. So that's how I view today's video. Is this is just valuable information that you can apply to your life and plan accordingly. Okay. All right. So with that said, let's go ahead and get started. All right, Aries. How are my Aries doing? So let's talk about the eclipse. This annular solar eclipse is happening in your seventh house of relationships. So, what does that mean? The seventh house deals with relationships of all kinds. I want you to really think about your soul contracts with other people. If you've ever heard that expression, some people come in for a reason, a season, or a lifetime. So I really want you to think about that. Like, think about if you're struggling with the relationships that you're in, or you're getting ready to start a new relationship, the eclipse is affecting your house of relationships of all kinds. And I really want you to think about, what are my standards? Okay. So, especially, for my single Aries out there, I really want you to think about, what are my standards when I let this new person into my life? Be really clear about what your standards are and how you want people to treat you. And anything below that, then this person is not good for you, in my opinion. And it's better to move on. There are way too many people out here for you to be stuck, in a relationship, putting up with people that don't treat you fairly, or treat you the way that you deserve to be treated. So really think about that when the eclipse comes your way, and really set your standards. Be really clear in your own mind and yourself about what your standards are. And Think about how people treat you. Now, this is not just about love relationships. This is relationships with the people that you have at work, your relationships that you have with your family, could be a love relationship, the relationships of all kinds, the relationships that you have with your grandparents, your parents, neighbors, siblings. So it's relationships of all kinds. The eclipse is going to step in and kind of shake that up for you um, in your um, in your forecast. So expect that to be happening. One of the things I'm going to do in this video is I'm also going to pull two cards. We're going to pull two cards here just to kind of ask the cards and ask the universe what other insights can we gain from the cards regarding your relationships. Okay, so let's take a look here. Ooh, okay. The first card that I pulled up is the Three of Cups. Wow. Okay. I'm going to pull, like I said, I'm going to pull two cards here. You have the Three of Cups followed by the Page of Cups. Very, very good cards. The Page of Cups always represents, I'm going to hold this up so you can see it. Somebody's coming with an offering. Somebody's saying, hey, I have this for you. Do you accept? And it's up to you to decide yes or no. This is exciting. You also got the Three of Cups here. Wow, this represents in the traditional sense of the tarot, what this represents is actually a bridal shower or some sort of wedding celebration, or it could be it's the three ladies dancing. It could be that you meet up with your girlfriends at happy hour and you actually meet somebody new because remember the eclipse is happening in your house of relationships. So yeah, so if you get an invitation to go out with your girlfriends or other female energy, I would say yes, okay, because you might meet somebody that has an offering for you. So very interesting that I pulled those two cards for you. So anyways, I hope that you enjoyed that and let me know how it's going, Aries. Just comment below and let me know what's happening in your house of relationships. I wish you the best of luck. Take care. Okay, Taurus. How are my Taurus doing this month? So the eclipse is happening in your sixth house. So what is your sixth house? In ancient astrology, in the old world, the way that I was classically trained as an astrologer, the sixth house is known as the house of slavery. Okay. It's also known as the house of hard work. So I really want you to think about during this eclipse season, what are you slaving away at? Okay, the eclipse is going to come in and kind of shake up your world a little bit. And it's going to provide that opportunity for you to sit back and really think, okay, what have I been slaving over? And when and where does that have to end? Okay, so think about that. So this eclipse actually might be really refreshing to you. It might give you the opportunity to really think about your life and where have you been slaving away for something or for someone, okay? And make the necessary adjustments. Now, the sixth house also deals with your day-to-day routine. So something in your day-to-day routine, remember this is just a general forecast, Taurus. In your day-to-day routine, there could be a big shakeup, okay? Because that's what eclipses do. They provide a shakeup in your life. So your day-to-day routine could change like instantly and overnight. So think about that. Now, I'm looking down at my notes here. I just want to make sure I don't miss anything. I want you really to think about what are you willing to sacrifice for? Remember, your time and your energy is very precious. What are you willing to sacrifice for? And is it worth it? Is the sacrifices that you've been doing, are they really worth it? Some sacrifices are very worth it, okay? But I want you to look at the ultimate payout. Now, this could also represent a new job happening, new opportunities, new circumstances, and your method in terms of how you get things done is going to have a shakeup. Okay, so that's what's happening. The eclipse is going to come in and shake up things that are located in your sixth house. All right, I do have my cards here. I'm going to pull two cards for you so we can get just a little bit more information about this eclipse. And let's see what pops up here. Oop, oh, two cards just fell in my lap. Oh, this is very interesting. So look what just fell out. We have the Empress card here and the Justice card. So the Empress card I really love. The Empress card represents that you are in control. You have everything that you need. You're basically just sitting back on your throne and you are the one directing others what to do. This is a really good spot for you to be in. It means that you're satisfied, you have the things that you need. Now, The other thing that popped up is the Justice card. So this could be some sort of legal thing going on. It could be that you're also signing some sort of a contract, because remember, the eclipse is affecting your sixth house. So maybe you sign a contract to start a new job, or some new opportunity is requiring you to sign a legal document to go ahead and get that facilitated and get it started. And that is the shakeup that is happening in your sixth house. So it could be some sort of there's legal settlements happening. It could be that you're wrapping up your divorce, or you're wrapping up child custody issues, and that changes your day-to-day routine. Remember, the eclipse is happening in your sixth house, which is your day-to-day routine. It's what are you willing to sacrifice for, and are you ready to sign on the dotted line? Okay, so really think about that. My suggestion would be, don't be reactive. When an eclipse comes in and shakes up things in your life, just pause for a moment and think about how you want to proceed, if you even want to sign on the dotted line, and then go forward. Okay. So anyway, that is your horoscope, eclipse horoscope for the eclipse that happened on October 2nd. So there you go. Okay, Gemini. How are my Geminis doing? So, this is your solar eclipse horoscope. Now, remember, the eclipse happened on October 2nd. You can feel it 6 months before or 6 months after. I say, in general, a lot of people feel it 1 month before and 1 month after. But I want to tell you, Gemini rising. Gemini rising, this eclipse is happening in your fifth house. Okay, so this is actually probably going to be really good for you. Now, remember, the job of an eclipse is to come in and shake things up. It's happening in your fifth house. So, what is the fifth house? The fifth house deals with children, it deals with pregnancy, it deals with joy, creativity, happiness, and good fortune. Now, in ancient astrology, the fifth house is also known as the house of good fortune. It's kind of a karmic house, too. What it represents in ancient astrology is that whatever you did in a past life, that good karma is filtering into this lifetime. Okay, so that's why it's called the house of good fortune. So when this eclipse comes in and shakes up your fifth house, um, you may decide to do something more creative. Remember, it deals with creativity, children, and joy. And you want to ask yourself too, like, am I really allowing my creativity to shine right now, or do I need to do something else? Okay, so those feelings, those thoughts may come up for you at this time. And what are you ready to present to the world? Do you have something that, like, are you really creative and you haven't been tapping into it? And the world needs to see your creativity. Think about that. And I want you to ask yourself is, have you been having fun lately? Like, has life been pleasurable? Are the circumstances that you're in, has it been pleasurable? If it hasn't been pleasurable lately, this is a great opportunity. The eclipse is going to step in and bring new energy into the fifth house for you. And so I think this is going to be really good. I think it'll be a gentle eclipse. This is showing you new ways to spark your creativity. It's showing you new ways to have fun. And it's also putting the spotlight on children as well. So I wouldn't be surprised too for some of you out there that discover that you might be pregnant. So let me know in the comments what is coming up for you for my Gemini rising with this eclipse. Now, I do have my cards here. I'm going to pull two cards for you just to get a little bit more information, a little bit more insight into this eclipse energy. All right, Gemini rising. What do we got here? Gemini rising. Oh, wow. Okay. I'll tell you why I'm having the reaction that I am. Okay, these are the two cards that I pulled for you. Now, a lot of times the Empress can represent pregnancy. So I'm really curious to know for my Gemini rising out there, if some of you discovered that you might be pregnant. Okay. So anyway, yeah. This also represents children. It may be that you are formalizing an adoption or something like that, or maybe you find out you're going to be a grandparent. But this has to do with pregnancy. This also deals with having everything that you need, being content, being satisfied. Now, you also have the death card here. Now, the death card doesn't always represent death, it represents massive change that is coming. And that's what an eclipse does. An eclipse is massive change. Now, if you look at the card, this person is going from dark to the light. Okay, so this is massive change in a good way. There's going to be a lot of disruption in your fifth house of joy, creativity, and happiness. So let me know in the comments. You can comment down below. Let me know what's happening for my Gemini rising. This is actually pretty exciting. So I'm excited for you. So let me know how things are going. All right, that is your horoscope. That's your solar eclipse horoscope for Gemini rising. All right, Cancer. How are my Cancer risings doing? So, let's talk about the eclipse. The eclipse is going to be happening in your fourth house of home and family. So, the eclipse job is to come in and kind of shake things up. So, where's it going to happen? It's going to happen with your home life and your family life. So, there's going to be some sort of a shakeup that is coming. This is a really good time to really just focus on the space that you're in right now. With this eclipse coming in and shaking up the home, I could potentially see that some of you may be moving. You could be relocating. You could be downsizing. You could be relocating due to a new job offer. Or maybe you're moving into a situation where you're going to do like that multi-generational living situation. But something with the home and family is going to be changing for you for the Cancer rising. And I really want you to think about during this time is, what do you call home? Okay, what does home mean to you? And for Cancers, this is very, very personal because Cancer is the sign of the crab. And for Cancers, you carry your home on your back. If you think about the crab walking along, that the shell of the crab, that's where you live. You carry your home with you wherever you go. For a lot of Cancers, home is everything. And the eclipse is going to be happening in your house of home and family. So this could be very, very interesting, very personal for a lot of Cancers. This is going to affect your home in a big, big way. Now, I want you to think about really, what do you call home? Is it what society says what home should be, or where do you call home? And I want to give you a perfect example for my Cancer risings out there. There was a woman, I read the story and saw the video, but there's a woman, I don't know if she's still doing it, but her husband had passed away and she decided that she was going to go live on a cruise ship. So she contacted Royal Caribbean and told them what she wanted to do, and she wanted to like sign, I think it was like a year's contract, or it could be 18 months to actually live on the cruise ship. And when I read the story and I heard about it, I thought, you know what, that's actually not a bad thing to do. And what she said is, do I want to spend the rest of my life living in a nursing home or a senior community, or do I want to travel the world? And if you think about it, like, she decided to move on the cruise ship. All her meals are prepared for her, so she no longer has to cook. She can order room service whenever she wants. There's an onboard ship's doctor there. She has unlimited meals, free entertainment, and housekeeping twice daily on Royal Caribbean. And I started thinking about it. I'm like, you know what? That doesn't sound like a bad idea. Like, when I get older and I think about retiring, like, that actually is a great idea. Like, why would I want to live in some senior citizen home or nursing home when I could, where I still have to cook and clean my place, and like, that sounded great to me. So I really want you to think about, what do you call home? Is it what society tells you that home should be? Or are you going to create your own definition of what you think home is? Now, it could be that you're maybe moving, downsizing, maybe getting a bigger house, or maybe there's a big change. You're having people come live with you, but something with the home and family is changing in a major way. So I do have my tried and true deck here. I'm just going to pull two cards. We're going to get a little bit more insight into this eclipse and see what pops up for you. But yeah, this for my Cancer rising out there, this is going to be very, very personal for you guys. All right, let's see what pops up here. Oh, wow. Okay, Page of Swords. Oh, okay. This is not what I was thinking. Okay, this is what you got. Page of Swords. There is some sort of news that is coming in that is going to be upsetting. Okay. This is not tragedy or anything like that. But this is news that's going to come in related to the eclipse that could be a little bit upsetting. So think about that. Also, you have the Five of Wands here. This is agitation, irritation. It could also represent arguments or fighting that's going on that's related to this eclipse. So, you got to ask yourself, do I want to participate in all the fighting? Maybe not. Maybe you just want to step out, or there could be fighting in the home, or there's some sort of agitation, irritation. It could be something simple as something in the home has been irritating you, and you finally decide as a Cancer rising that I'm going to go ahead and resolve this once and for all. Maybe it's new window treatments, or maybe you need new furniture, or something that's been annoying you inside the house and you finally get it taken care of. Okay. So that's what this could represent. Or it could represent that there truly is some sort of fighting that's going on inside the home that you need to just, put an end to. Okay. All right. So there you go. That's my forecast for my Cancer rising. Hope you enjoyed that. All right, Leo. How are my Leo risings doing this month? So, we're going to talk about the eclipse and where this is happening. Okay. So, for my Leo risings out there, this eclipse that happened on October 2nd is happening in your third house. So, what is the third house? The third house generally deals with your siblings. It deals with like your community and your neighborhood and communication. So there's going to be some sort of a change happening. Remember, eclipses usher in change. So it could be something simple like something's changing in your community. Like maybe they're putting up new apartment complexes or new housing development, or maybe they're putting in a new Costco or new shops or new restaurants in your neighborhood. Or maybe it could be that your neighbor next door is moving out and you're getting new neighbors moving in, but something within your community is changing that will have an impact on you. Now, the third house also deals with communication as well. And so, something with communication, maybe if you're an entrepreneur that you decide to shake things up, maybe you decide to go to a different platform to change the way that you communicate with the world. It could be something like that. It also deals with siblings. Okay. So you can have some sort of a shakeup going on with a sibling. So, I want you to think about like in astrology, the fourth house deals with the home, okay, the home that you live in. But the third house, which is affecting my Leo rising, the third house is outside of your home. It is your community, it is your neighborhood that you live in. And there's going to be some sort of a shakeup going on. Now, I do have my cards here. I'm going to pick two cards for you. And we're just going to get a little bit more insight into this eclipse energy for my Leo rising out there. Okay, Leo rising. Now, you guys are good communicators anyway. If you're a Leo rising, you're already good at communicating anyway, but it could be something where, sorry, I got an itch right there. It could be something where you just change your communication style. Okay, something needs to change with the style of the way that you communicate. But let's get two cards pulled here. I am shuffling. I'm going to pull two cards just to get some more insight. Okay. All right. Oh, wow. This is interesting. So we got, oh, wow. Okay. So my Leo rising. So here's what we got. We got the Eight of Cups and the World. The Eight of Cups was the first card that popped up. This is a very interesting card. Now, I want to tell you something. This card represents that something could happen on or around the full moon. So I would circle the full moon on your calendar. I don't have the date here in front of me. I believe the full moon is on the 17th. Yes, it is. It is on the 17th of October for this month. Now, it could also be the full moon, which is happening next month. Remember, eclipses could happen 6 months before, 6 months after. But for some reason, I'm thinking the 17th of October, which is the full moon. I would circle that on your calendar. Now, the Eight of Cups represents that you have this really good opportunity in front of you, but you turn your back and you walk away. I'm going to hold this card up there so you can see it. So you basically, some people may criticize you for that, for turning your back and walking away. But as a Leo rising, you probably don't care what other people think, right? Because you have that fire energy about you. So you really don't care what other people think. But other people are going to see this as, wow, my Leo rising just turned their back on this great opportunity and you just walked away. Okay. So if a situation comes up where you're like, nah, I got to turn my back on that, now's the time to do that. So remember, the eclipse is happening in your third house of communication. It affects your siblings and your community. Now, the other card I pulled for you is the World, which is the utmost success. So maybe you should be walking away from something because I see some success here for you. So this is really good. So I'd be interested to know, you can put your comments down below, how the eclipse is affecting you. I really like the World here, which is the utmost success. So that's exciting for my Leo rising out there. So yeah, definitely keep in touch and let me know how that's working out for you. Okay, so I hope that you enjoyed that. Take care. All right, Virgo, how are my Virgo risings doing out there? So, we're going to talk about the eclipse and how this is impacting you. Now, remember, this applies to Virgo rising, not Virgo sun or Virgo moon. It's Virgo rising. Now, the eclipse is happening in your second house of earned income. So what I could see potentially happening here. Now remember, eclipses, they come into your life and they facilitate change very, very quickly. So something with your income is changing, and it could be something as simple as maybe you decide to do a side hustle temporarily, or you decide to change jobs. Or change the company that you work for, or maybe you're staying in the same company, but you're switching to a different department. So something with your income is changing. And maybe for Virgo risings, maybe that you're like, hallelujah, I can't wait, for my income to actually change for the better. So in my feeling, what I'm feeling right now is like I feel like new money is coming in for my Virgo risings. And this deals with assets. It can also mean that new people can come into your life that will help you to get those assets. So when you get invited somewhere or you meet new people, just don't poo-poo that idea, or just don't be quick to say, no, I'm not going to go, because you could potentially meet somebody that either sparks curiosity in your thinking, or could offer you a different insight into a new company or a new job. But something with the income that you're bringing in and your resources is getting ready to change for the better. You can actually start making more money right now, for my Virgo risings out there. Again, it could be something simple like a side hustle. Maybe you decide for the holidays, hey, you know what, I need to do a side hustle just for the holidays, and then I'll reassess, after that point. So yeah, it's happening in your second house of income. I do have my cards here, so I'm going to pull two cards here for my Virgo rising, and let's just see if we can get some more insight into this eclipse and find out specifically kind of what is going on. I am shuffling here. So Virgo rising, let's just get some more insight into this eclipse. Oh, this is really good. So, Ten of Cups, okay, and the Hermit. Okay, so let's talk about this for just a second. I was just mentioning this. Now, the Hermit card, if you look at this represents, if you can see him holding the lantern right there, he's holding the lantern out for you and he's showing you the way. So again, I would not poo-poo the idea if you get an invitation for some event, or you get an invitation to go out for like a happy hour or some sort of networking event or a job fair or something like that, I would really consider going, because you could meet somebody very soon that is going to help show you the way. Okay, show you a different path to earn more money. Okay. The other interesting card that you got is the Ten of Cups, which is joy. I mean, it doesn't get any better than the Ten of Cups. I mean, if you look at it, you got the rainbow, you've got all 10 cups, you got the man and the woman, they're celebrating, they got their house, the kids, like it's perfect, right? So you've got happiness here. So I would really think about collaborating with somebody to bring in more income, or if you meet somebody new, they might have some information for you that will help guide you to new money coming into your life. All right. So there you go. That's your horoscope forecast for my Virgo rising. I hope that you enjoyed that. Take care. Okay, Libra, how are my Libra risings doing? So, we're going to talk about the eclipse and where it is landing in your chart. Again, this is for Libra rising. So, let's back up for just a second. So, the eclipse that is happening in Libra. So this is very, very personal for you. Out of all 12 signs, this is going to impact you the most because the solar eclipse that happened on October 2nd happened in the sign of Libra. So for my Libra rising, this is all about you. This could be monumental change. This is a big impact. So the eclipse is happening in your first house. So what is your first house? Your first house is all about you. Now, the first house for a lot of astrologers is one of the hardest houses to make predictions on and forecasts on. And the reason why is because it's so personal. It's personal to you as an individual. So it's all about you. So there could be some sort of a shakeup. Okay, regarding you specifically, the first house deals with your body, it deals with your health, it deals with your image. So you could be thinking about, and it could be something very simple, like maybe you decide to go on a diet. Maybe you decide to get your teeth fixed. Maybe this is the time where you're like, you know what? I've been meaning to get Invisalign or get braces, and I want to get my teeth fixed. Maybe you decide that you want to do some sort of plastic surgery or some sort of change to the body. This is very personal. It could be something like changing your hairstyle, your hair color. Again, this is all about you. It's very personal. So this is about changing aspects of how we view you. It's very personal. It's all about you, right? So it could be your body image. Maybe you decide to join a gym and start working out more. And you really want to think about, how does the world view me? Okay. How do you want the world to view you? Okay. What is the new version of you that is coming out right now? Maybe you're at the point where you're like, I'm just fed up. I am so fed up. Like, I want to start this diet. I'm going to give up sodas, or I'm going to give up sugar. I'm going to start this new diet. This is the time to do that. And the eclipse is going to step in and help you do that. So something's going to happen. The eclipse is going to step in and say, okay, my Libra rising, this is the time. This is the time to take action and change how the world sees you. It's your physical appearance, your body. It could be something like piercings. Maybe you decide to get your ears pierced, or you decide to start working out more. So it also deals with your style. Like, maybe there's a new version of you that is just waiting to come out, and you want to change your style and how the world views that style. Now, it could also be something like your soul's plan. This eclipse could rush in and really force you to think about, why did I incarnate into this lifetime? Why am I here? What is my gift to the world? What do I want to accomplish, before I cross over and leave this lifetime? Like, what is my soul's plan? All of those feelings are going to come up for you during this time. So, the other thing that you might be asking yourself, I ask myself this quite a bit, but what do you want to be when you grow up? Okay, so maybe you're having a midlife crisis or something, and you're really thinking about, okay, what do I really want to do with my life? What do I want to be when I grow up? Okay, so all of those feelings could be coming up for you. Now, I do have my cards here, my tried and true. I'm just going to pull two cards. We're going to gain a little bit more insight into this eclipse for you. Okay, so I am shuffling right now. We're going to pull two cards and see what other insights come up. So I'm curious to know, and you can put comments down below. Let me know, what is it that you're changing for my Libra rising? What is changing? Remember, this is all about you. The eclipse is happening in your first house. This is a solar eclipse in Libra. Okay. All right. So let me pull two cards here. All right, Libra, what do we got? Oh, this is a great card. Okay, so we've got Three of Cups and oh, this one here, Ace of Wands. Okay, great card. This okay, so let's start with this. The Ace of Wands. Ace of Wands is like new energy, new opportunities coming in. So maybe it could be, remember, this is just a general reading. It could be that the Ace of Wands always deals with business too. So business opportunities. Maybe that you get a new job and the new company is saying, "Hey, we need you to look like this," or something with with how you're presenting yourself to the world. Like maybe you're going to work for a news station and you have to change your image, but because remember, this is all about you, your body, your image, how you're presenting yourself to the world. There could be a new opportunity that is coming in for my Libra rising, and you're like, oh man, I need to make some massive changes before I accept this offer. Okay. And then you also have the Three of Cups, which is celebration. So this could be really, really good for my Libra rising out there. This eclipse could be just the new energy that you have been waiting for. So I'm curious. You can comment down below and let me know if you're Libra rising. What is it about yourself that you're getting ready to change? And I see exciting new opportunities coming your way. Okay. Now remember, you can feel the eclipse 1 month before, 1 month after. You can also feel it 6 months before and 6 months after the date. And the date was October 2nd. Okay. So, yes, I hope you enjoyed that forecast. And there you go. Take care. Okay, Scorpio. How are my Scorpio risings doing? So, we're going to talk about this eclipse. So, remember, the eclipse happened on October 2nd. And for my Scorpio risings, this is happening in your 12th house. So, what is the 12th house? I often refer to the 12th house as the addict. Okay, it's kind of the unconscious. It's what's up in your mind, your thoughts. Now, sometimes when we have an eclipse that happens in the 12th house, it can really put the spotlight on your need to just retreat. Like maybe life has just been out of control. It's been super busy, and you're like, you know what? Thank God this eclipse came in because I need to step back. I need to go to a yoga retreat. I need to do meditation. I need to go travel. I need my alone time to just get my thoughts in order. And that's what the eclipse is actually going to force you to do, is really just step back, step into your unconscious mind, and really pull some ideas that have been locked up in there for a while. So it's a time to go inward. Now, one thing I also want to say about the 12th house in astrology, it deals with secrets. So it could be that some sort of secret is unveiled. Maybe you've been holding on to a secret and you're like, you know what? I just have to tell everybody the truth. I can't hold this secret anymore. It's time to let it out. Or somebody that's very close to you, it came to you and revealed a secret. And because of that, you now feel like, "Hey, I need to go away and just really think about this. I need a timeout." Okay. So that's what's happening. It's a really good time to go deep. Okay, if you're a Scorpio rising. Now, I do have my tried and true. I'm going to pull two cards here just so we can get a little bit more information on this eclipse and how it's affecting your 12th house. Let's see what comes up here. I'm shuffling. And let's just see what comes up here for my Scorpio rising. Now, remember, you can feel the eclipse 1 month. The intensity is 1 month before and 1 month after the date, but you can also feel it 6 months before and 6 months after. Okay, Scorpio rising. How is this going to affect you? Oh, very interesting. So you got the Four of Cups and the Magician. Okay. Very interesting. The Four of Cups, if you look at this card, somebody is coming to you with some sort of an offering, and you're sitting at the bottom of the tree like this, like, I don't want to hear it. You're kind of like, don't want to hear it, don't want to go there. And maybe that's the reason why you're like, hey, I just need a time out. I need time away from everybody. Like, don't bother me right now. I'm going to hold this card up so you can really take a look at it. So if you look at him, he's like, I don't want to be bothered right now. That's kind of what the 12th house is, right? You're at the bottom of the tree and you're like, hey, I'm just chilling here. Just don't bother me right now. I'm in deep thought right now. And then you also got the magician, which is making things happen. You have the ability to make things happen in your life. And but before you do that, I can see that you might possibly need a timeout before you implement your actions. Okay, before you initiate that. And so that's your eclipse forecast. So, yeah, let me know how that's going for you, Scorpio rising. You can put your comments down below. And yeah, I hope that you enjoyed that. Take care. Okay, Sagittarius rising. How are we doing? This is your horoscope for the eclipse that happened on October 2nd. So we're going to dive in deep. Again, this is for Sagittarius rising. Okay. So the eclipse is happening in your 11th house. And I'm actually like really excited for you if you are a Sagittarius rising. The 11th house, let me tell you about this. And if you see me looking down, I'm looking at my notes because I don't want to miss anything. Now, ancient astrologers referred to the 11th house as the house of joy. It's the house where wishes do come true. I love the 11th house. And so, because of that, this is the house where wishes can come true. I want you to be really clear with your thoughts, be really clear with your manifesting during this eclipse season. Now, remember, the eclipse happened on October 2nd. You can feel it 6 months before, 6 months after, or the intensity is 1 month before, 1 month after. But be really clear about what it is that you're manifesting. Okay. Be really clear with your thoughts, be really clear with the energy that you're sending out to the universe and what you want to come to you because wishes do come true under this house. So, yes, the eclipse is happening in your 11th house. So, it's the house of joy. Hopes, wishes, things that you aspire to transform in your life or happen in your life can actually happen during this time. New people could be coming into your life. You could be involved with new networking opportunities. You could have new contacts, join new clubs, sororities. This house also deals with political rallies. So it's very interesting if you're a Sagittarius rising, like how involved are you politically? I don't care what side that you're on, but political rallies fall under the 11th house in astrology. So maybe you decide all of a sudden, hey, I'm going to go to that rally or I'm going to get involved or I'm going to volunteer. Again, it deals with clubs, political rallies, sororities, fraternities, networking groups, contacts. New doors could be opening up for you during this time. So I'm excited for you. You know, if you're a Sagittarius rising, this is a really magical time for you. Now, I do have my cards here. I'm going to pull two cards just to get some more insight into this eclipse. But man, I'm telling you, I would love to hear what is happening, what new opportunities may pop up for you during the next 6 months. Or maybe they've already happened because remember, you can feel the eclipse 1 month before and 1 month after. So, yeah, so I am shuffling here. I try not to look at the cards when I'm shuffling. But yeah, let's ask the cards, what other insights can we gain? What else do we need to know about this eclipse for my Sagittarius rising? Okay, what do we got here? Oh, wow. The Chariot. Oh, this is really good. Okay, let's talk about these two cards. So you got the Chariot and the Page of Wands. Let's start with the Chariot. The Chariot is a card that represents that you just finished a major accomplishment and you're finally going to get recognized for it. So that could be that. Remember, I talked about your hopes and your wishes. You know, dreams do come true. So it looks like you either just accomplished something or you're getting ready to accomplish something within the next 6 months and you'll be recognized for that. Okay. This card also represents transportation as well. So it could be something like, you know, your wish is to get a new car. You finally get that new car that you've been hoping for. Okay. Now, you also got the Page of Wands. The Page of Wands is some sort of news coming in via phone call, a text, an email, some sort of messenger. This always represents that news is coming in for you. So be on the lookout for this. Some exciting news is coming in. So I like these two cards that I pulled for you. So yeah, like I said, for my Sagittarius rising, this could be a really exciting time with the eclipse happening in your 11th house. Okay, so yeah, I would love to hear about what's happening in your life. You can always comment below and let me know if you're a Sagittarius rising, what is happening. I'm curious. So yeah, so let me know. So I hope that you enjoyed that. Take care. All right, Capricorn. How are my Capricorn risings doing? So, we're going to talk about the eclipse. Now, remember, the eclipse happened on October 2nd. You can feel the eclipse 6 months before and 6 months after that date. The intensity around that can be felt 1 month before and 1 month after that date. Now, this eclipse that happened on October 2nd is happening in your 10th house. If you are a Capricorn rising, your 10th house has everything to do with your work and your career. Now, it could be that you're changing jobs. It could be that you're leaving the company that you're at. It could be something on the flip side of that, it could be that you're not leaving your job, but maybe your schedule is changing at work. Something with your career is changing. It could be a total career change or something very simple like you're going to have start a new schedule sometime soon, or policies or the way that you do your work. Something with your work is changing. It could be schedule, could be policies, or maybe you're going to get a side hustle. So I do have my tried and true cards here. So I'm going to pull two cards for my Capricorn rising. We're just going to dive in just a little bit deeper and see what other information that we can pull from the cards regarding this eclipse that's happening in the 10th house, that's dealing with career and work. So there can be some exciting changes. Now, remember, eclipses are very abrupt. Changes can happen really, really fast. So just kind of get ready for that. All right, I'm going to pull two cards here for my Capricorn rising. Let's get some more information. Oh, okay. Okay. Very interesting. So we got the Page of Swords and the King of Wands. So this person could be instrumental in your life regarding what the changes that are happening in your career. This represents the Page of Swords always represents some sort of like unsettling news coming in, or news that you may not like to hear. So it could be something that um, it could be something at work that is changing and you're like, "Oh, I don't like this new policy," or "I don't like this new schedule." And it could be something like that, and this guy is a major player that is helping, facilitate some of that change that is going on for you. So, yeah, so there you go. That is your, horoscope forecast. That's your eclipse horoscope forecast for my Capricorn rising. So I hope you enjoyed that. Take care, everyone. Okay, Aquarius. How are my Aquarius rising doing? So this is your eclipse forecast. Now remember, the eclipse happened on October 2nd, which was earlier this month. And the eclipse, if you're an Aquarius rising, is actually happening in your ninth house. So what does that mean if you're an Aquarius rising? Now, ancient astrologers called the ninth house the joy of the sun. Um, it's the ninth house is really interesting because it covers quite a bit. And if you see me looking down, I'm looking at my notes because I don't want to miss anything. I also have my tried and true. I'm going to pull two cards here as well for you. But let's talk about the ninth house. So if you're an Aquarius rising, the ninth house deals with long distance travel. It deals with learning. It typically deals with higher education. Long distance travel, it deals with foreign lands and international travel. It also deals with passports. So it could be, the eclipse is going to step in. The eclipse's job is to shake things up. The eclipse's job is to facilitate change very, very abruptly. So it could be something like maybe you decide all of a sudden, like, oh, you know what, my passport's getting ready to expire. I need to go update that. Or, hey, maybe I've never had a passport, and maybe it's time to get my passport done. So it deals with passports. It deals with immigration matters. It deals with matters involving citizenship and residency. So all of those issues could be coming up for you. Again, it deals with curiosity. Maybe you don't actually travel to a foreign land, but maybe what you decide to do is read books on foreign travel or some sort of a novel that deals with a foreign country. It deals with publishing and broadcasting as well. So the ninth house is very broad. It can deal with publishing and broadcasting to travel to passports. It also deals with academics and it also deals with the law and courts. So hopefully you're not dealing with the law and the courts. But it could be maybe something pops up in your life and you're like, okay, I got to go to court now. Deals with the law and the courts. And also, grandchildren are covered by the ninth house. So, as you can see, the ninth house is very broad. And remember, this is just a general reading. I don't know exactly what's happening in your life personally, so we can really hone in. But I am going to pull two cards here. We're going to dive in just a little bit deeper. Yeah, the ninth house is really broad. It can deal with immigration, passports, traveling, education, immigration, grandchildren. Yeah, it's very, very broad, but let's shuffle the cards here and just take a look see. And I try not to look at my cards when I'm shuffling. Let's just take a look and see if we can get some more information about this eclipse. Okay. Oh, wow. Okay. Wow. Okay. These are the two cards that I got for you. So the first card um, is the Three of Wands. This deals with actually, if you look at this card, this guy is looking over the land. And he's standing there in a position of power, making some choices. And so this is opportunity, this is choices, this is actually looking at the land. It could be looking at foreign land. So maybe you are getting ready to travel to a foreign land. The other card that popped up is the Wheel of Fortune. So things are changing. Wheel of Fortune is always a great card to show up in your reading. So good things are happening regarding this eclipse. So maybe you do get your citizenship, or maybe you do get your passport and you're able to travel abroad. But yeah, I'm curious to know what is coming up for you if you're an Aquarius rising. You can always comment down below and let me know because, yeah, the ninth house deals with quite a bit. It also deals, like I said, with publishing and broadcasting. So there could be some major changes regarding maybe you're deciding to write a book or you want to be a self published author. Maybe those feelings, this eclipse is going to step in and really bring to the spotlight. Maybe you've been holding back and you've been thinking about writing a book, deals with publishing, broadcasting, and you finally decide, you know what, now's the time. I'm going to write that book that I've been meaning to write for quite some time. So yeah, so I'd like to know what is happening with my Aquarius rising out there. You can comment down below. All right. So I hope that you enjoyed that and take care. All right. How are my Pisces rising doing? So we're going to talk about the eclipse. Remember that the eclipse happened on October 2nd. And the eclipse, if you're a Pisces rising, the eclipse is happening in your eighth house. So, what is the eighth house? The eighth house is a little broad. It deals with other money coming in. So it's not the money that you personally earn from working, it's other types of money. So when I talk about other types of money, what I mean is it could be bonuses, could be commissions. So maybe if you're a Pisces rising and you're considering taking a job that pays out on commissions, it would be a good time to maybe consider doing that. So bonuses, commissions, tax refunds, it also deals with windfalls and lottery winnings. Okay, so if you're a Pisces rising, I would say I'm not advocating to go out and start gambling big time, but it deals with lottery winnings. And this is ushering in, this is a solar eclipse, which is new energy coming in. So I would definitely consider buying a couple lottery tickets or some sort of raffle tickets. Maybe there's some sort of raffle in your community where you could win a new home or win a new car or something like that. So it also deals with, if you see me looking at my notes, I just don't want to miss anything. It deals with joint financial matters. So it could be that your spouse or significant other has an increase in their finances. It deals with banks. It deals with loans. It deals with mortgages. It deals with lines of credit. Inheritances also come under the 8th house. It deals with refunds. So maybe all of a sudden, I don't know if it's ever happened to you, but sometimes I'll get a check in the mail and they'll go, "Oh, sorry, we screwed this up. Here's your check," and you get this check in the mail. Bonuses, commissions, royalties, windfalls, lottery winnings. It's also known in ancient astrology as the house of transformation. Also under this house, it deals with surgeries. So as you can see, the 8th house is really broad. It also deals with rebirth and creating a new chapter in your life. It deals with estate planning, death, and wills. So all of that is covered under the 8th house. So yeah, so if you're a Pisces rising, I would love to know. You can always comment down below and let me know how you're doing with this eclipse that is ushering in into the 8th house. Now, I do have my cards here. I'm going to pull 2 cards for you, and we're just going to dive in just a little bit deeper for my Pisces rising and see if we can get some more information on this eclipse, okay? So I am shuffling right now. Okay, so what other information do we need to know for Pisces rising? Oh, wow. Okay. Wow. Okay, very interesting. So, this this particular card has several meanings. Now remember, this is just a general reading. This could represent that you're done. You're basically done with a present circumstance. You are not going back to that old lifestyle that you had, that you are completely done. You're you've ever heard that expression, "Stick a fork in me, I'm done." Well, this is like 10 swords in your back. Like, you're done. You're done with whatever situation that you've been dealing with, which might be quite refreshing. Now, this card also represents traveling over or by a large body of water. Okay, so maybe you're traveling for business or for pleasure. Now you also have the Four of Swords. So that shadow, this card has several meanings. Number one, it means that the shadow over your that has been hovering over you is finally lifting. Okay. That shadow that you've been under, that cloud that you've been under is finally going away, and you're going to see blue skies. It also represents that you have a lot on your mind right now, and you're just trying to sort things out. So it's a good time to do that. The eclipse always comes in and ushers change rapidly and quickly. And so maybe with all the intensity and the speed of this eclipse coming in is just forcing you to say, you know what? I just need a timeout. I just need a minute. I need a minute to just lay here and just gather my thoughts. Because if you look at this card, this guy is not sleeping. If I'm going to hold the card up to you, he is fully awake. His hands are in the upright position. He is fully awake and he is thinking about things. So take all the time that you need. If you're a Pisces rising, take the time that you need to process everything, because there's a lot. You are ending something, something new is coming in, and you need some time to sort of process your thoughts around that. So this could be a very interesting time for Pisces rising. Again, I would love to hear what's going on with you. You can comment down below and let me know how you're doing with this eclipse happening in your 8th house. So there you go. I hope that you enjoyed that forecast.